Kenneth first met us at Chelsea Hotel. By that time, we've already become big as a hurricane. And he was actually a member of the APC. So as he ran to us, and I now being the special advisor to Peter Obi on public affairs, if you notice, a lot of us Igbos took a back seat, but we just put him up there since he came from Nollywood. Let him speak to that constituency and let's see what it is. So he really didn't know why we were doing the obedient movement. But after we finished the elections, Kenneth was now asking that Peter help him become publicity secretary of the Labour Party.
If you have been watching my videos, you might remember one of the videos that I posted some time ago. In that video, I was condemning Kenneth Okonkwo's actions, the way he talks uncontrollably, untamed, his utterances and countenance towards Peter Obi, unacceptable. Particularly, I didn't want to talk much in that video because I don't like bringing our people into disrepute. I don't cherish such. But in that video, my instincts kept on telling me that somehow it's like Kenneth Okonkwo has compromised his standard. I love Kenneth Okonkwo so much. I respect him because of his eloquence, his intelligence. As a lawyer, I respect him so much. So coming out here to say things about him out of assumption, I couldn't find the strength for such. I just made a straightforward video towards him. But here, it's like there is more substance to what I was thinking than I said in that very video. This man here is about to explain the sudden change in Kenneth Okonkwo's countenance. Why is it that all of a sudden, the person that you were protecting yesterday, you started becoming against him because of one reason or the other? When you see people hanging on over a particular error so much that they can't let go, even when your good deeds has outnumbered that very error, even in your daily life, your dealings with one another, no, it's either that person's attention is no more with you, or there is something else that person is up to. Their mind is no more there for you. Watch this video and understand better. This man said a lot here. You that is watching this video, I want you to understand the battle of rescuing the nation is not an individual battle. It's not a tribal race. It's not a religious or lingual race. It is a race for survival. The delegates are the ones that go and collect money. They are the ones that are being bribed. The responsibility lies between you and I. The fight for obedient movement is a fight for all Nigerians. I must tell you, thank you so much. I promise to be bringing to you updates the way I receive them. Thank you and God bless you.
Kenneth Okonkwo Barrister recently suggested that fielding a northern candidate like Alhaji Atiku Abubakar might be the only way to counterbalance Tinubu's strength in the southwest. Do you agree with that? And before you do make any intervention, let me quickly bring this video in for your input.
Letter to become the president. That is strategy. If my own strategy this time around is that I am going to support a northerner in 2027. Really? Yes. And it must be my condition to the northerners. It must be a northerner that the whole north will be willing to support, like an Atiku. If the whole north is willing to support an Atiku, why not? Or a Tambuwal. If the whole north is willing to support, why not? Or an Erufai. Good. The person must be qualified, must have experience, and if he has experience in the presidency, it's an added advantage. And when we put up anything from the south, that will push him through. Let me tell you. But would that be fair? Would that be fair that there was an 8 years of Buhari, a 4 years, if the case is the way you put it, of Bola Tinubu, and then now the South has not had a share of 8 years in the rotation understanding of Nigeria, politically speaking? Would that be a fair game? Good. Thank you for this question. And let me use this opportunity to clarify.
Now, listening to this, understanding that Kenneth Okonkwo is a mutual friend, is a friend, and is a brother, and he appeared to have received knocks from certain quarters while some have really held him as a man of courage and outspokenness. What is your view on that statement?
I will say Kenneth first met us at Chelsea Hotel. By that time, we've already become big as a hurricane, and he was actually a member of the APC. So as he ran to us, and I now being the special advisor to Peter Obi on public affairs, if you notice, a lot of us Igbos took a back seat, but we just put him up there since he came from Nollywood. Let him speak to that constituency and let's see what it is. So he really didn't know why we were doing the obedient movement. But after we finished the elections, Kenneth was now asking that Peter help him become publicity secretary of the Labour Party. I told him no. That party is not our own. We only came to beg for platform they gave us, so let them have their thing. It turned out that because Peter doesn't pay, he said he doesn't give shish. And I said, we are all volunteers. Kenneth didn't like that. I think he has run into Atiku. Atiku has now dollarized him, and that's why it is. He's now speaking just for Atiku. So I don't take his words seriously. He is from the Nollywood sector. He's an actor. Let him be acting for Atiku's sake. We did inform the Obedient Movement for him to come join us to make Paul Biya president. No, what we formed the movement for was to force inclusion of all of Nigeria in the governance of Nigeria. So, but yes, a lot of us who are here have left. I am speaking to you now. I'm not on salary. I don't get nothing. But it is based on my convictions that I started that campaign. It is not based on my convictions that you saw me in Lagos. It is based on my convictions that I did what I did. So if somebody who came to join me didn't understand why I started what I started in the PDP, suddenly now because he didn't get gratified by the boss, he didn't get any advantage he sought from the party, leaves to go seek advantage elsewhere. Then you see him on TV talking like this. I don't take him seriously. He doesn't understand what it is. What we're arguing about is more than that. It's more than that. Remember, Obasanjo was from the south. Obasanjo won back-to-back president. Goodluck was he ran. Goodluck defeated Buhari. So leave all that talk. What is he saying? That the presidency has been in the south now for 2 years. Me and him should come and sit down and organize to send it to the north, where he doesn't know the intentions of those in the north who are not happy who are unhappy because they are suddenly out of power. What will Atiku do in Nigeria he didn't do since? Tell me. No, tell me now. Is the coming together just to make sure you give the power to a northerner? What about Nigeria? Ask me what I've gained from Tinubu, and I will tell you, Tinubu has stopped the federal funding of the unknown government sting operation. It doesn't exist anymore. Yes, no single arrest, no single prosecution. Tinubu has now, because of our interventions, been forced to intervene in Benue. What happened? 48 hours arrests were made. Check. Even though you see killings in Plateau, Tinubu has to do more. I condemn Tinubu for his nepotism. Now today he's formed a company to intervene in the southeast. They asked me last week what I feel about the southeast. I said 3 things. 1, allows the decentralization of ports, so that ports like Ibono, ports like Awasa, ports like Uguta, ports like Port Harcourt should be allowed to compete with Lagos. 2, when Ibe Kachuku was the Minister of Petroleum, yes, he designed a gas master plan in which the whole of the Southeast were in that plan. But when in 2019 Buhari started constructing the master plan, he removed the whole of the Southeast, even though 74% of Nigeria's gas reserves are resident in the southeast states of Imo. The largest gas field in Africa is in Asa North, in Ohaji, Anambra, Enugu, and Abia State. Why would you then design the gas pipeline and there is no pressure pipe anywhere in the southeast? That is number 2. And I also say that, you remember when Amechi built his railway, the standard gauge, he built it to Maradi. Amechi is from eastern Nigeria.
You were saying something before the network got you short. Anyway, if you want to round up, or else I can move to the next question.
Go on. I'm okay. Bring back the question.
Yeah.
I'll answer it.
Okay, that's fine. Let's move on. We've dealt with the question on Kenneth Okonkwo. Here, I wanted to actually say this. In all these political calculations, all these political considerations, how crucial is the Middle Belt in determining the outcome of the 2027 election? Because you keep hammering that, justice ought to go to the South. Where is the place of Middle Belt in all these permutations?
Before we started campaign of 2022, 23, I went around the Middle Belt and I asked, what do they want? They say they want security. That the amount of ethnic cleansings going on in Kaduna and other places is unprecedented. And that was why you saw P2B became the only candidate that visited the IDP camps. The Middle Belt, where they are, is security. Security. We should understand that anybody killed in the Middle Belt is a Nigerian that's killed. Why are we keeping quiet? Why don't we raise our voices when people are being massacred across the Middle Belt? Look at the Kaduna State. Look at Plateau State. Look at Benue State. Look at Nasarawa. Look at Niger. Why should we keep quiet when Nigerians are massacred in the Middle Belt? And for me, and you can see apart from General Danjuma, most Middle Belt leaders have gone mute. General Gowon is not talking Pim. Mark didn't say a thing.
Why do you think that is so? These are military generals and their people are being killed.
Because these military generals are afraid of offending historical friends. But Danjuma, being leader, everything you see Danjuma say are based on intelligence fed him by junior officers who are still currently in the army. So the army will be standing aside and the militias will be wiping villages. But the minute they organize to try to fight back the militias, the army will just come to block them. So General Danjuma is right to say that they collude. The military collude. So there are those who don't want to offend them. Who do you want to go and talk? Is it David Mark? David Mark that said that if Humphrey Nwosu declares Abiola president, that he will shoot Abiola dead. Is that who we talk? He was saying that to make people happy, his masters. Who will talk? It's not everybody that wears the general rank in the Middle Belt. That's a general. Danjuma is a general. In both act, deed, and life. Same as Obasanjo. You saw he's not afraid to speak. How many of them speak up when their people have been massacred? And yet, all these generals are junior to General Gowon. Why didn't go and talk? So, it's easy. What about here in the East? When I took risk to be talking, there were Easterners who were they didn't want me to talk. I was in PDP when I started fighting the militia killings. There were people in the PDP who didn't want me to talk. Because I believed that the democracy is a representative democracy where we must speak and act and do things in representation of the interests of the areas where we hail from. Not wanting to join a man you think will just make you president. Understand that. So by the time what I was doing with Peter became strong, those Igbo politicians became obsolete. I can't just say them. You not see them following Atiku about. You see them campaigning in the East for Atiku. They want to latch on to something to become relevant, just like the man you're calling. Who is he a politician? No. He joined us at Chase Hotel. Remember all Kenneth said, abusing Igbo people about joining Buhari. They don't join Buhari, they will not be in the mainstream. The same Kenneth came to join me. Same Kenneth now is with Atiku. Forget these things. Some people don't have the intellectual strength to survive in what I'm doing. You need to have the intellectual capability to sustain over a long period of time, not just to jump every train that is moving to Sokoto. It doesn't work that way, my dear brother.